Shelbourne may be 30 years away from their previous victory in an FAI Cup final, but there's certainly plenty of cup final experience and success in their ranks, starting with the goalkeeper Jody Byrne, who was so successful with Shamrock Rovers. Ken O'Doherty, who can't even get a place in the team, scored UCD's cup winner in this ground in 1984. Mick Neville, Anto Whelan, Kevin Brady, and of course Paul Doolan, a former Derry City winner himself, are all in the Shelbourne lineup. Derry City go into this match on the back of 2 straight defeats, the most recent of which last Sunday in this very stadium ended their interest in the championship. Shelbourne won it with a goal by that very same Paul Doolan. Derry will do well to watch him today, but they look to their own successful strikers, Donal O'Brien with 12 goals and John Bacon, still on loan from Arsenal, with 4, to perhaps see them through to the final of a competition that they won most recently in 1989. Today's match being refereed by Michael Caulfield from Dublin. Derry City in their change strip of lilac and black play from right to left, attacking the Ballybock end. And Doolan again in the fray. Then it's Hutton for Derry. Cleared away by Brady. Dully seeking Doolan. But the whistle had gone. There was a foul on Pádraig Dully. Advantage not played. Free kick to Shelbourne. Dully. Rutherford now with the cross. And brilliantly intercepted by Mooney as Haylock came in behind him. A good incisive cross that by Mark Rutherford. It was measured for the head of Gary Haylock, but Mooney just got it away. Mooney cleared it, on by O'Brien. And Mooney away once more. Ennis. Intercepted by Coyle. Bobby Brown. Nicely played. Coyle again. Brought down then by Martin McGinley. And he's taken to one side by referee Caulfield. To be told that any more of that will result in, at the very least, a caution. No card on this occasion. The free kick to Shelbourne. Neville rolls it for Brown. Back again for Coyle. Carlisle closed on him very swiftly indeed. Shelbourne have to make do with the throw. Neville. Doolan in there. Got in ahead of Curran to make the header. Mick Neville lofting the cross. And Doolan able to command the situation, but couldn't direct his header onto the goal. Again, O'Brien rising with Whelan, and O'Brien getting the better of it. Ennis falls over. And the goal kick is the net result. Mark Ennis, who's had a lean enough time as a goal scorer at Derry this season, his total just 9. That's on by Haylock for Doolan, and Dully's taken up a good position. Well, the best that either side has offered so far, and Pádraig Dully contriving to put it high over the top. Haylock began it, Doolan carried it on, and Dully was in a superb position, but managed to drive it over. And O'Neill takes the kick. On by O'Brien, away by Bobby Brown. McGinley. Still it's McGinley, and it's found O'Brien. And the big man has a shot at Jody Byrne. Didn't look happy about that. The trajectory of Donal O'Brien's shot such that the keeper had his work cut out to hold on to it. Fine effort. Bacon. Ennis. Murray. Doolan getting it back for Shelbourne. It's Coyle up the line. Dully. Gold cutting it out. And away it goes to the throw to Shelbourne. Well, that was a fine effort by Donal O'Brien, Derry City's top scorer this season with 12. Brady has room, but on that instance, a lack of control. Now something better. But Gold in the way. Mooney. That was Coyle, and it's Doolan for Costello. Murray with a challenge, and Carlisle to continue. Peter Hutton. Carlisle once more, and Hutton again. It'll be Carlisle who'll try to cross, and again. Onto it goes O'Brien, and Bobby Brown had the opportunity to bring it away. Now it's Mooney, and Ennis shoots, and Byrne saves, and Neville clears it away. High drama there in the Shelbourne penalty area. Paul Mooney attempted the shot, then it was Ennis beavering away. He got the effort in, it was blocked, and finally Mick Neville got it away at the expense of a corner. It's Costello leaving it for Dully. Now Doolan. Costello, get his angles right. O'Brien. He's found Murray. Mooney. McGinley, intercepted by Brown. Now it's Coyle. But Ennis has it back for Derry. And Coyle is going to have his name taken. Advantage might well have been played there, but no, the referee wanted to get the name of Peter Coyle into his book. And now the game goes on. Mooney with the high ball, Byrne able to take it. Brown now for Haylock. Taking on Hutton. Found the cross which Curran has put away for a Shelbourne corner. And here it comes, taken by Haylock. Whelan was up there, but it's beaten away by O'Brien, and then the shot flashing in from Mick Neville. Corner floated across, O'Brien got it away, but it fell invitingly for Mick Neville. His shot just wide. Mooney. And Mooney again. Curran and Mooney. Now Costello. Carlisle who won it back, and offside has been signalled against Mark Ennis. That had to be marginal. Ennis less than happy with the decision. The linesman right in line. Somebody prepared to sacrifice their drink to vent their spleen on the official. And their team may not be in candy stripes this afternoon, but there's not too much doubt about where their allegiances lie. It's Haylock. Brady. Now it's Dully. Turning Curran twice. Floating it towards Bobby Brown. But McGinley beat him to it. Murray. Rebounding from Doolan for Bacon. Doolan with a second chance. Now it's O'Brien. Bacon. O'Brien again. Too high. That was Gold. Then Doolan for Flood. Holding off Ennis. Giving it to Bacon. And the challenge from Doolan was a very rash one. And the card comes out for Paul Doolan. Came in behind John Bacon, took the legs from under him. And so Paul Doolan becomes the third player to be booked for that foul on John Bacon. Came in right in behind the Derry player who was battling to keep control of the ball and gave him no chance at all. So Doolan's name joins that of Peter Coyle, his teammate, and Donald O'Brien, the Derry player, in Michael Caulfield's notebook. And Shelbourne take the opportunity of sending their second substitute into action. Bobby Brown has left, and Ken O'Doherty, scorer of UCD's winner in the FAI Cup final in this very ground back in 1984 when they beat Shamrock Rovers in the replay. Ken O'Doherty is on in place of Bobby Brown. He's normally a centre half, but no doubt be put to good effect in a forward role. And immediately they try to bring him into the action. And Gold puts it out for a corner. Brian Flood takes the corner. O'Brien knocks it away. Then it's Doolan. O'Brien again. And the shot that came from Dully was quite comfortably dealt with. A finish by Dermot O'Neill. O'Brien prominent in the defence of that corner. When the ball eventually came out, Dully had the snapshot, which O'Neill got well behind. Picked on then by Traynor. Now it's Mooney. Haylock. Mooney unable to control it. Haylock, Dully. Now Coyle. And Dully arriving and just unable to get on the end of it. Peter Coyle it was who made the ground up the right and whipped in the cross low. Dully slid in and was just inches away from what would have been a dramatic opener. That was Haylock. Away by Hutton. Traynor beaten in the air by Whelan. Rutherford on. Gold away. Whelan once more. Doolan. Against Dully. Dully shot and just over. Great effort that. The ball hoisted into the area. Curran rose with Ken O'Doherty, and when the header came out, Dully was there to flash the shot at it and put it just too high. Curran against O'Doherty. Now Rutherford. Cleared away by Donald O'Brien. Back again by Brady. Shelbourne coming more and more into this after a period of Derry dominance. Haylock, Doolan, Brady. Carlisle stood his ground against Haylock. Now it's Traynor. Ennis laid off for Traynor again. Bacon going after it with Coyle. Coyle's header straight to Ennis. And then it's Bacon. Just couldn't control it. Bacon again against Coyle. That's a corner. Peter Coyle forced into defence against John Bacon. Plenty of big men in the area now for Derry. McGinley with the cross, headed away though by Haylock. Onto it comes Hutton. He was fouled by Haylock. Quarter of an hour of the match remains. Derry City's free kick. Gold headed away then by O'Doherty. And O'Brien trying to get through, and Neville putting it out. Derry City's throw. Taken by Carlisle towards Traynor. It's fallen for O'Brien. Rebounding from Haylock. Back again by Mooney. Ennis, Traynor, and Jody Byrne saves. Plenty of bodies in the Shelbourne penalty area. When that was knocked back in by Mooney, it was Traynor, and then it was Mark Ennis, but Jody Byrne was bravely down to save. That's Carlisle. Neville with the clearance. Dully now against Curran. Got the better of the Shelbourne man, and a good effort. Oh, making something out of nothing there, big Porrick Dully. Ball knocked over the top, and it was Dully against Curran in what seemed an unpromising position, but he still managed to fashion the shot, which was just too high. Kick by Curran. Throw to Shelbourne. Dully trying to release Rutherford and succeeding. O'Brien, oh, he's lost it. Dully! Well, the best chances of the second half have fallen to Porrick Dully. That was an optimistic pass up the line for Rutherford, who made the most of it. Whipped in the cross. O'Brien made a mess of it, but Dully just couldn't direct the shot onto the goal. And that's it all. The last action of the game, and they'll have to do it all again at the Brandywell. Precious little between these teams. Porrick Dully may feel that he could have won it for Shelbourne. Certainly he had a hatful of chances in the second half, most of which he made himself, but none of them was easy, and he was unable to find the net. And Derry City went one better than they did last week when they succumbed to a late goal from Paul Doolan. And they now have another chance in midweek at the Brandywell to claim their third place in an FAI Cup final. And for Shelbourne, the long wait for an appearance in the decider must continue, at least until the middle of the week. Final score at Tulka Park is Shelbourne 0, Derry City 0.
So, home advantage switches to Derry City. That replay fixed for next Wednesday evening at the Brandywell.